Secret shortcuts in Monster Hunter have always been fascinating to me. Back before the age of seamless environments, Monster Hunter's maps had different areas that were divided by load zones, and usually each area was significantly different than the last to give the hunter a sense of scale, as if one loading zone took you deeper into varying parts of a larger landscape. Oftentimes there would be arrows on the map indicating paths you can take that would be considered regular shortcuts, like here in the deserted island, but there are actually quite a few shortcuts that aren't visible on the standard map whatsoever, which gives them the title of Secret Shortcut. There are a few hidden shortcuts that exist in Monster Hunter World and Rise, however, with the existence of base camps, great wire bugs, seamless maps, and new traversal methods, these shortcuts have less significant use. In the old games, however, there are plenty of secret shortcuts that can save you a lot of travel time or lead to some very interesting places. There isn't really any rhyme or reason why they exist on certain maps and don't in others. They truly are a mystery. Which is why in today's video, I want to go over every single secret shortcut in the old world of Monster Hunter. I assure you, even the most veteran of hunters won't know all of the ones I'm going to show off today. And if I'm wrong, well, you can have my treasured golden Gargwa egg. So sheathe your weapons, bring out your well-done steaks, and get ready for another Flyann 2 video. Our journey starts in a time long ago, before cell phones existed, TVs were still in black and white, and indoor plumbing was just a fantasy. Yes, I'm talking about 2004. The first Monster Hunter game was filled with many beautiful environments. The serene and calming scenery of the forest and hills, the somber yet stunning swamp, the lush and mysterious jungle, the barren and expansive desert, and the fiery and unforgiving volcano. It also introduced special maps like the Fortress and the very first iteration of Castle Shrade. The forest and hills seems like the perfect place to have a secret shortcut, but unfortunately, it doesn't have one to traverse between zones. However, it does have a shortcut of sorts that's initial use is long forgotten. For anyone brave enough to carry out a wyvern egg from the Wrath's lair back to base camp, you can take the shortcut in Area 6. Basically, you have to jump very carefully on the correct ledges as you slowly head down to the ground, and usually this would happen as Rathalos would be descending to greet you, so it's quite the stressful endeavor. Any mistake and the egg would become a soil omelet. This is back in a time where you couldn't eat for a feline food skill to allow you to jump to the ground without breaking the egg, so being careful was crucial. If you jumped on a ledge slightly too low, your dreams of being an egg collector would be crushed. So if you've ever played a newer old world game like Generations Ultimate and was wondering why this area had so many ledges and was so dreadful to climb, now you know its initial purpose. It was all a twisted little mini game. Well, that's cool and everything, but this isn't a secret shortcut. We're not here for egg lore. So, is this secret shortcut in the jungle? Or maybe the volcano? Well, actually it's in the desert, but not yet. The shortcut does exist, but not in this iteration of the desert. A confusing statement, I know, but this shortcut isn't available until a certain mechanic is introduced to the series, and it's by far one of the most unknown secret shortcuts in Monster Hunter. That being said, technically speaking, Monster Hunter's first generation of games did not have a single secret shortcut, unless you really want to stretch the definition of a secret shortcut. Let's take a look at the Lao Shan Lung Siege Hunt. Back when this hunt debuted in the original Monster Hunter, it was quite the spectacle. Basically, you're defending this fortress from the giant moving dragon, and you're attacking him from the surrounding areas, be it the ground or the elevated structures. But there is a certain moment in the hunt that you can actually jump onto his back. Now, I'm aware that a considerable amount of people already know you can jump on Lao Shan's back, especially after they added anti-dragon bombs in later games, which can only be placed physically on a monster, but there's at least one person out there who didn't know about this, so even if you knew, imagine their excitement right now in their dimly lit room being bestowed upon this life-changing knowledge. They needed this. On Lao Shan Lung's back, you can basically just carve a couple extra goodies and take a little Lao Shan Uber, but that's about it. And in future games, you could do stuff like this to get onto his back. That covers the shortcuts of the first generation of Monster Hunter. There's still plenty of mysteries in this generation that I could talk about for hours, but it's time to actually bring up our first real secret shortcut. Fast forward to 2006, and Monster Hunter DOS was released in Japan, and the secret shortcuts this game had would also appear in games like Monster Hunter Freedom 2 and Freedom Unite. Monster Hunter DOS introduced a brand new desert area, and our first true secret shortcut, and it's one that's kind of hard to miss. It's a well. You jump into this well, and what's underneath it seems to be this entire cave structure. When you go down this well, you fall all the way down and somehow survive and end up in Area 6. If you look up from where you dropped, you can even see the opening that you fell from. I don't know what the fascination of old video games and jumping into wells for secret passageways was, but it's something I'm quite fond of. This secret shortcut is really convenient because it's located in the base camp and can spare you a lot of walking time considering you end up on the other side of the map. What a useful secret shortcut. Surely there's another one that exists within the second generation of Monster Hunter. Nope. For all of the environments in the second generation, this map is the only one with a secret shortcut. It would have been really nice to have a secret shortcut in a map like the Snowy Mountains, which takes a considerable amount of time to traverse to get to where you usually face a monster near the summit. Well, if it's any consolation, there is a tiny secret in this map. You can roll into this area and climb for a while to do some sightseeing. Since I mentioned Lao Shanlung, you can also jump onto Yamasukami in Monster Hunter DOS when he falls over, but I feel like this one is a given. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, secret shortcuts don't seem to have a rhyme or reason for why they exist only on certain maps, which is why there's only one true secret shortcut in this entire generation. What's nice about the well shortcut in the desert though is that anytime this map returns in future games, the secret shortcut is still accessible, which isn't the case for all of them. It's time to move on to the third generation of Monster Hunter, and this is when we finally start to see a bunch of secret shortcuts. This is the generation that has by far the most of them, and a lot of that is thanks to the introduction of underwater movement and combat. And one of the most iconic maps in the series introduced a very fun secret shortcut, the Deserted Island. Connected to the entrance to Moga Village, the Deserted Island is the first area you visit in Monster Hunter Tri that merges both water and land. Much like the previous secret shortcut, the one in this map is also in the base camp. At the fishing spot, you can jump into the water, and if you descend a bit while swimming, you'll see an entrance which you can go through to end up in Area 9, which is funnily enough a completely grounded area. If you look closely behind where you land, you can see the tunnel that you fell out of, which is really cool. From here, you can quickly get to Area 10 and head into the water again, making this secret shortcut very convenient. However, this shortcut isn't available in every game that the Deserted Island appears in. In Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, Monster Hunter Generations, and Generations Ultimate, there are no underwater areas. They were removed in Portable 3rd due to hardware restraints, and after the third generation of Monster Hunter games, underwater officially did not return. Well, at least at the time of this video. A pig can dream. Not only did they remove the underwater sections, they just completely got rid of the base camp area and moved it somewhere else. Over here we can see what was once the entrance to the Moga farm, repurposed into being the new base camp. The entrance of the old base camp is now covered up by a rock. Unfortunately, this secret shortcut wasn't replaced. Now there's just no secret shortcut at all on this map. But what's really interesting is that they still kept the tunnel we come out of in Area 9. So I want to believe the shortcut is still there, just unreachable. The underwater parts of these maps may be gone, but what if I told you there was a secret shortcut in the 4th generation of Monster Hunter that allowed you to go underwater? Some thought of it to be a legend, whispered about between hunters within online lobbies for years. Does it truly exist? I will reveal the truth of this shortcut before the video is over, that I can assure you. Moving on to our second secret shortcut of the 3rd generation, the Flooded Forest. This is yet another map that involves underwater movement and also features a secret shortcut in the base camp. If you look to the right of the fishing pond, you'll notice an ordinary looking pool of water. If you jump in, you can swim on through this really cool underwater tunnel and end up in Area 6. Unlike the Deserted Island shortcut, we actually end up inside water on the other side of the shortcut this time. It appears you fall into the river and drop down from this huge waterfall. Area 4 and 7 also lead into this area, making it feel like the central area for all of the water to converge in the Flooded Forest. Just like Deserted Island, the portable 3rd version of the Flooded Forest gets rid of all of the underwater sections, including the shortcut in the base camp, with no replacement yet again. However, unlike the Deserted Island, Portable 3rd didn't actually remove any areas. Rather, they made it seem like it's a different, less floody season of the Flooded Forest, so you're traversing on the floor of the river instead. The Flooded Forest skipped 4th gen, but it did return in 5th gen with Monster Hunter Rise. We can see a familiar rendition of the original Flooded Forest here in the base camp, and to the right of the fishing pond, there's no water, and sadly no secret shortcut. Not all is lost though. They did at least add a bit of a cheeky shortcut somewhere else in the base camp. If you jump up to this ledge and use a Great Wire Bug, you can find a tunnel that leads to Area 13. Not quite the same shortcut, but we'll take it. The final water-based shortcut is available during the battle against the Great Elder Dragon Sideus. The battle itself comprises 2 phases, the first of which is you following Sideus as he swims to the final area for the final showdown, while destroying the environment to create a path. Once you shave his beard and see him enter Area 3, he's ready for the final fight, and this is when you unlock the secret shortcut. The rock that was blocking the path in the base camp is now gone, presumably because as Cedeus breaks his way through, he causes the rock to break as well. If you jump from this edge, you will end up right at the entrance of the final area, instead of having to swim all the way from Area 1 in case you farcasted or fainted during the battle. I'm assuming your hunter falls in through one of these holes. Neat. Our next shortcut is in the Sandy Plains, and once again it is in the base camp. You simply jump down this hole and end up in Area 7. Very similar to the well for our first ever secret shortcut, and if you look up you can see the exact hole you fell out of. I love how a lot of these shortcuts give you an impression of where you came from. The Sandy Plains is a really awesome map. So awesome even that just like the Flooded Forest, it was remade in Monster Hunter Rise. This map never had underwater, so none of that had to be removed. On the contrary, something remained. This exact area where the shortcut was now leads to a little tunnel where a great wire bug awaits you. It doesn't lead to the same area as the original secret shortcut, but it's cool of them to keep the same exact little entrance intact. I remember in my old days of playing Monster Hunter Tri, having no earthly idea that there was a ledge you can jump or climb down from that revealed the location of the Veggie Elder in the base camp. What is bro doing down here? I also thought that we were on a moving island for a long time before realizing this is just a fast-moving river with ice in it. Perhaps I wasn't the brightest, but this isn't even the coolest part of the Tundra map. In the Tundra, there's no secret shortcut. Well, at least not in the same way that we've seen so far. Originally in Monster Hunter Tri, there was only one monster that was capable of unlocking the 2 secret areas within the Tundra, and that is our beloved Deviljho. When he's low enough health, instead of eating his own tail, he can break through the branches in Area 1 to reveal the secret Area 8 and 9. He makes his way to Area 9 to rest, where you can also find Dragon Bone relics. There's no way to get to these areas without a monster creating the entrance. In Portable 3rd, Jade Baroth could do this as well, and in 3 Ultimate, Stygian Zinogre and Brachydios could also break through. The volcano unfortunately does not have any secret paths, shortcuts, or areas, aside from the area you end up in with Feline Explorer, of course, but it does continue the tradition of having a split path at the beginning. Not sure why this has been a staple for every single volcano map, but the tradition ended with this generation. With the release of Monster Hunter Portable 3rd came a brand new map, the Misty Peaks. Surprisingly, the secret shortcut isn't in the base camp this time. You can trigger it on the bridge in Area 3. By simply running off, you end up face down in Area 7. It's unclear exactly where the bridge is relative to this area, but it's implied it's really high up. Good thing our hunter eats their vitamins. And the very final secret shortcut in the 3rd generation of Monster Hunter is truly and utterly insane. When fighting Gen Moron and you want to head back to the base camp, jump into the sand. Yeah, took me 23 years to figure this one out. And that wraps up the secret shortcuts for the 3rd generation of Monster Hunter. But by far some of the most mysterious and unknown skips are in the 4th and final generation we will be covering today. Starting with Monster Hunter 4, this game only had one secret shortcut, and it once again is accessed through a base camp. In the Primal Forest, you can simply head right next to the tent here and fall and land into Area 3. Personally, I didn't know about this shortcut for a really long time, despite it being so out in the open. It just never registered to me that it was a shortcut until I saw someone enter it during a hunt. I'm not sure where it's implying that you fell from, maybe the cliff up there. This next secret shortcut is big. In Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, the game brought back a familiar map, the Dunes, or as we knew it in Monster Hunter 1, the desert. We finally come full circle, and I can reveal what I meant about how the shortcut in this map didn't exist yet, until now. With this new version of the desert, certain areas of the map changed. There were a few game mechanics added between Gen 1 and Gen 4 that allows for this shortcut to be accessed, and that's the ability to jump, climb, and the addition of day and night variations for maps. So here we are in Area 3 during the day in the desert map, brought back from days past. And there's not a single secret shortcut in sight. This completely changes in the nighttime version of the map, where we can see that now, somehow, there is an entrance with a ledge. Where could this possibly lead? And how do we even reach it? We must look to the trees. If you take a good look, you can see them pointed towards the entrance. The solution is to climb and jump. You don't even have to actually land on the ledge. Just jump in the general direction, and suddenly you're surrounded by dancing felines in Area 11. Well, we may as well join in on the fun. I also invited this cat to join me on my adventures too. It's strange that the shortcut leads here because you can still get to Area 11 by regular means. There's a normal entrance to this place, but technically you do save time by using this shortcut if you're trying to get to Area 10 quickly. We could even spot where the entrance to this area is. During daytime, it seems like the entrance is still there, but on the other side, it's completely gone, which means the cats are quite busy creating and getting rid of this entrance every day. This is by far one of the most unknown secret shortcuts because every element about it is just bizarre. This was the only secret shortcut added with 4 Ultimate, so combined with the one in Monster Hunter 4, we've got only 2 in the whole game. Oh, wait. I forgot about one. There's Darren Moron. We can jump in the sand. It took me 30 years to okay, so 3 secret shortcuts in 4th gen so far, but we get even more with the addition of Monster Hunter Generations and Generations Ultimate. And by far the most mysterious, unknown, and downright disturbing secret shortcut of them all lie within these games. Generations reintroduced the desert along with the Misty Peaks, and the secret shortcuts returned with them. What's worth noting about secret shortcuts in these games is that if you zoom into the map, it actually shows you that there's a shortcut. In all the previous games, that was never the case. But in both Generations and Generations Ultimate, they decided to let you know about them if you are one of the 8 people on Earth who have ever purposely zoomed into the map. Also, for some reason, you can't just run off the bridge anymore. You have to roll to activate the shortcut. Generations Ultimate introduced the Ruined Pinnacle, and in Area 5 you can crawl into this little area to drop down 700 stories and shatter all of your bones in Area 1. If you look up, you can kind of get an idea of generally where you came from. Thankfully, my hunter survived the fall. We've come a long way. It's time for the final secret shortcut. Many people don't know about it, and it is my honor to reveal its secrets to you today. This secret shortcut allows you to enter one of the coolest areas in the entire series, and it is the only way to go underwater since the feature was removed officially after Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. This secret shortcut is a game changer. But in order to activate this shortcut, you must dabble in a little bit of tomfoolery. In the marshlands, which is the swamp from Gen 2 brought back into Gen 4, you want to go to Area 3. Run against this pillar until your character starts sliding. You will eventually clip through the wall and now be completely submerged within the void. Next, you want to run around a little further back and make sure to stay a bit distant from the visible ground so you don't clip back in. Keep walking towards the fish, and just like that, underwater is back. I never thought I would see the day. Thank you, Capcom. If you have a Switch with Generations Ultimate on it, you could boot it up and try this right now and be one with the fishes if you'd like. And with that, that is every secret shortcut from the old world. Were any of them something you weren't aware of? If not, I owe you this golden Gargua egg. Standard shipping and handling rates may apply. If you enjoyed this Flyann 2 video, please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out the streams linked in the description. I stream Monhunt 4 days a week, and it's a blast, I tell you. I made an entire MMO with a low poly DS overlay where you can hang out. Poogie Jr. is there. I'm realizing it's not the easiest thing to explain, so come see for yourself. You'll like it, I promise. Anyways, there's plenty of secrets and mysteries in the world of Monster Hunter that I want to show off to you guys, so I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!